Good day, everyone. I am Virgil May A. Padrasilio, and together with me are Alexandra Lumudang and Brandon Nosotros. We will be discussing the Unit 1, the research proposal. What is review of related literature? In its simplest form, review of literature is a description of what others have published presented in the form of summaries. For example, Younger et al. 2004, 247 point out that previous studies on teacher education in the United Kingdom focused on factors which attracted or alienated potential recruits and those already in training. Studies cited suggest that trainee teachers were attracted to teaching largely for perceived intrinsic reasons related to the profession and by positive experiences of schools, classrooms, and teachers. However, a simple description of what others have published in the form of a set of summaries is considered inadequate. A more complete review of related literature should take the form of a critical discussion showing insight and an awareness of differing arguments, theories, and approaches. It should be a synthesis and analysis of the relevant published work linked at all times to own research purpose and rationality. Literature review is therefore the selection of available documents, both published and unpublished, on the topic, which contain information, ideas, data, and evidence written from a particular standpoint to fulfill certain aims or express certain views on the nature of the topic and how it is to be investigated, and the effective evaluation of these documents in relation to the research being proposed. Purposes of review of literature. The goal of review of literature is to provide the justification of the proposed research, and this can be achieved through four main objectives. These are to review published literature, to identify and summarize relevant theories and researches, to critique the literature, identify arguments for and against theories, assess value of research claims, and identify limitations in previous research, to identify gaps of literature, to identify the gap in knowledge in areas that have only been partially researched, and to inform proposed research, provide a rationale, background or context for proposed research, and guide selection for an appropriate design and methodology. So the aims and objectives of literature review can be stated as questions. Number 1, what are the key sources? Number 2, what are the key theories and ideas? Number 3, what are the main questions and problems that have been addressed to date? Number 4, how is knowledge on the topic structured and organized? Number 5, what are the origins and definitions of the topic? Number 6, what are the political standpoints? Number 7, what are the major issues and debates about the topic? Number 8, how have approaches to these questions increased our understanding and knowledge? That's all. Next will be discussed by Brandon Nosotros.
By explaining what has been done and what has not been done, the researcher gives us justification of own contribution. In the discussion section, literature is used to support and criticize the findings of others in light of new findings. In case of Younger and others, findings show similarities to earlier studies and further that a complexity of constructions of subject and teaching. Some trainees were attracted to teaching by the perceived intrinsic value of the subject itself, and opportunity to continue within the subject area, and the others by their own positive schooling experience, by Younger and others 2004. Research papers begin with an introduction in which literature is cited to introduce the problem, establish its importance, provide an overview of the relevant literature, show how current study will advance knowledge in the area, and describe the researcher's specific questions by Piers Cap, 1999. Review of related literature plays a crucial role in formulation of research problem and the whole process of research. What is research methodology? The specific procedures of techniques used to identify, select, process, and analyze information about a topic. In a research paper, the methodology section allows the reader to critically evaluate a study's overall validity and reliability. So, research methodology is a way to systematically solve the research problem. It may be understood as a science of studying how research is done scientifically. In it, we study the various steps that are generally adopted by a researcher in studying his research problem along with the logic behind them. What are the instances of research methodology? It entails researching the theories and ideas that support the procedures in order to create a strategy that is in line with your goals. So there are 5 examples of research. It could be surveys, observation, generating research questions, interviews, and focus groups. These examples are dependent on the type of research methodology used. Why research methodology is important? A research methodology gives research legitimacy and provides scientifically sound findings. It also provides a detailed plan that helps to keep researchers on track, making the process smooth, effective, and manageable. Some important factors in research methodology include the validity of research data, ethics, and reliability of most of your work. It's finished by the time you finish the analysis of your data.
What are the 5 parts of research methodology? Number 1, the logic of inquiry or qualitative or quantitative. Number 2, research setting and participants. Number 3, methods and procedure of data collection. Number 4, methods and procedure of data analysis. And lastly, ethical issues. The logic of inquiry or qualitative or quantitative. The logic of inquiry in a typical quantitative approach to research is more usually to be regarded as theory-driven, while the typical qualitative approach, the logic of inquiry, is usually data-driven, although, of course, there will be exceptions to this as well. Research settings and participants. The goal of review of literature is to provide a justification of the proposed research, and this can be achieved through 4 main objectives. Methods and procedure of data collection. Some common data collection methods include surveys, interviews, observations, focus groups, experiments, and secondary data analysis. Methods and procedure of data analysis. Data analysis is a technique that typically involves multiple activities such as gathering, cleaning, and organizing the data. Ethical issues. Ethical issues in the workplace can be defined as instances in which a moral quandary arises and must be resolved within an organization. What is the purpose of research methodology? The purpose of a research methodology is to explain the reasoning behind your approach to your research. You'll need to support your collection methods, methods of analysis, and other key points of your work. Also, the 3 of the most influential and common purposes of research are exploration, description, and explanation. That's all for the Unit 1. I hope you learned something from us, and thank you for listening.